Okay. They of course wouldn't let me recording. They of course wouldn't let me tarp in the ice protected environment. And when you get out here in the prairie, the wind is kind of blowing a little bit, of course. So I'm going to try to do it without counterweights. Hopefully we don't lose a tarp. So I don't mind tarping out in the middle of nowhere. What's kind of annoying though is when they say it must be tarped, but you're not allowed to tarp it here. You know, they don't want to take responsibility for the product, and they also don't want to take responsibility for the safety. Kind of a chicken shit thing to do, but a lot of them do it. So I'm gonna run one tarp at a time, get down and bungee the corners because I don't want to risk losing a tarp, having it blow off. So I've got Jeff. He's delivering in Mammoth, Wyoming right now, which is on the northern side of Yellowstone Park. And we got him a load booked already coming out of there. Well, not coming out of there, but coming out of close to there. So we're working on that. Had to do a carrier packet and waiting for that rate confirmation to come in. Okay, what are we looking at here for straightness? It's pretty close. Don't blow off. Man, I almost could have got away with 4-footers. See that? Uh, 4-footers would have came right to the trailer basically. Actually, it's too late now. I already got 6s up there. I should have measured it. 4-footers would have probably worked. Oh well, can't cry over spilled milk. Let's see. Damn. Kind of in a hurry just because I'm hoping to do this before the real in the prairie like this. As the sun comes up, that's when the wind starts blowing pretty seriously. So I'm hoping to get this tied in and buttoned up before we get any serious wind. Okay, well, I'll wait on that. 4 corners will be fine for me. Oh, there's a long one. That's what I needed, was a long one. To do middle. I want to go through it like that so we don't leave hooks up to cut our other tarp that's going to go over the top of this one, right? You want to go super tight, just nice and light so it doesn't pull the tarp too much. Moves it to the middle on the other side with a nice long bungee. This is why I like to keep 21-inch and 31-inch bungees, to have that flexibility of different sizes. Okay. Okay. So my whole bright idea here of carrying sixes instead of eights. So I used to always carry a set of fours and a set of eights, because then you can, tarps, what I'm talking about, because then you can get away with pretty much any load. But I went down to sixes because my theory is that every load that was a real disaster, right, was just one of those loads that I never should have booked, and you don't know until you get there. Those loads always required 8-foot tarps. So I thought, well, I'll fix that. I won't carry 8-foot tarps. Well, it works pretty good if you're running the south, because, oh boy, here we go. Because there's so many loads down there, you don't really have to be focused on one type. If one load doesn't work, you just take the next one, you know? But if you run the west, whoa, shit, I fell through. If you run the west, there's a lack of freight, there's not a whole lot of loads. So being able to take every single load is a big advantage. Also, there seems to be a hell of a lot more stuff that requires 8-foot tarps when you're running the west. You got to remember where all these holes are, guys. So not having the 8-foot tarps has kind of been a little bit of a struggle for me. Okay, we don't want to poke the product, so I'm gonna opt to poke my tarp. I know that sucks, but oops. Okay, let's get some corners buttoned up so we don't lose the damn thing. I mean, it's not too bad, but every once in a while you get a little gust, and boy, that would suck to get it all. It's happened before. That's how I know, and man, it's a shitty feeling when you get that all laid up there just the way you want it. All right, you get down, right off your track. Pretty depressing feeling. Okay, now I feel pretty secure now. It's not going to go anywhere. Let me do my typical thing of doing my end caps first. Get this sucker tarped. Get on the road. This goes over to Chicago. This was actually worked out fairly well. I was kind of shocked to find a load out of here. Honestly, I was expecting a big deadhead. So this will work out pretty good profitability wise. This one, I don't remember if it doesn't pay all that well, honestly, but the load going to Casper, of course, paid pretty well because I was expecting a big deadhead. So in the end, getting lucky with a good load. This goes to Chicago, like I said. So Chicago for flatbed is good. It's not as good as it would be if it was like van, right? Van Chicago is way better. As far as, Chicago is a really good van market. It's a pretty good flatbed market. I wouldn't call it stellar. Okay, see how I did that? I did that right. Sometimes I've been on days off and I forget how to tarp, but I did that right. We put the end cap in front, the sides went over, and then the end cap went over so that wind and water will go around. And then in the back we'll do the exact opposite, but I need some long ones. Okay, so in the back we'll take some short bungees. We'll take this back cap. And I don't like doing this with the bungee because then that point will hit our end cap, but it's going to be around the corner pretty good, so sometimes you can't avoid having some little holes poked in your tarp. Grab that one. Okay, when you can, put the point away from your tarps. Okay. That'll do it for the end caps. Now I'll get some bungee rope out. Run my bungee rope. That's sticky. It's been on the reel too long. Okay, you know what? I'm trying to make a little shorter videos. So if you guys have not seen my other videos where I run the bungee rope, it's all the same. So I'm not going to go over that again. I'll just stop the video here. This is pretty much how you tarp. Dang it, I had a first part where I strapped it. I had to stop the video, and I don't like to post double parts like that. And it's annoying and time consuming to connect the videos together. So I'll just go over it real quick in case I don't post the first part. So on these Supersacks, you want to, what I did was, I don't know if you could see, I put a cross strap here and a cross strap coming that direction and then one over the top. And every other section just got one strap right over the middle. And that keeps the end caps from falling off pretty well. The other thing with these Supersacks is they're going to continually, as you drive, they're going to continually compress. And so you'll have to stop a lot and tighten straps. But you don't want to over tighten because you'll compress those sacks so much that the sacks will bust. And then you got a real mess. So just be careful, you get them nice and snug, and then keep pulling over and tightening straps. And it'll do. Keep them nice and snug. All right, that'll be the end of it. Guys, comment on this video if you like stuff like this. Comment if you learned anything. Comment if you have a better way of doing it in the wind. We didn't have very much wind today, so it wasn't too bad, but leave me a comment. Let me know what you think.